Good evening, and this is Noreen McClendon, and I am your facilitator and your host for Free to Heal. And here we are another week. We come together, we're formerly incarcerated and loved ones, and we come together every week to try to heal the wounds and those things that happen as a result of mass incarceration, our interaction with the criminal justice system, and the impacts that it's had on us as individuals, our families, our loved ones. And so we have what I consider a very special guest tonight. Someone joined us, and her name is Miss Darcy Jackson, and Miss Darcy is a family therapist. But I asked Miss Darcy to come because Miss Darcy and her husband have survived almost 5 years post incarceration, and to me, that's a feat in and of itself. So I want to give Darcy at least a few minutes to just talk about your experience in terms of reintegration, what that has looked like, and how it's gone on. So just unmute for us and tell us whatever you can.
Sure. It's not been an easy journey. It's been a rewarding journey. We're on year almost 5. So years 1 and 2 are great. Honeymoon, he's home. I don't care what bad shit is happening. Like, he's here. Like, it can't
Right.
get any better than that, right?
Right.
Years 3, 4, reality is setting in for both of us. Like, I
Okay.
mean, this is like reality for him of like finding a job, keeping a job is challenging. Like, where do I fit into this family?
Right.
How do I help my wife, who's very strong and independent and has held the household down with me being gone? Me finding space of like, okay, you're here. We really got to share everything now. Like, we're both giving and taking, and it was really challenging with life happening to each of us, how do we come together? Because generally, when he's incarcerated, like, I'm the one holding everything down. There's only so much he could do. And so to lean on him is challenging for me to grow, to find how he can support. Like, we really look back, like years 3 and 4 were really challenging, which I would probably argue, which are probably like years like 2 or 3 for regular couples. Like, everybody has the honeymoon phase initially,
Right.
but like most people like live together. Like, we were together 7 years before living together. So like, you know each other, but living together, you learn each other in a whole
Totally
different
different.
ballpark, right?
Yes, totally different.
So winding into year 5, I think this has been our best year that we've had, just personally and together as a couple. But it's a commitment, and it's not easy. I would say honestly, like, certain aspects of being incarcerated were easier
Okay. Uh-huh.
than being home, because like, you knew what you were gonna get. Like,
So what I
we,
would ask you to do for the benefit of people who may not understand, if you
mhm.
could expound on that, like just give an example or two of what was easier.
Yeah. Like, if we were in an argument, right? That 15-minute phone call ended after 15 minutes, and that was the end of that discussion. Versus like
Okay.
here, if there's no 15-minute phone call to cut something off. So
Right.
you're like,
There's
you're
not that
stuck
lady that
dealing
I'm
with
gonna have a
it.
misunderstanding with in the street. The lady, this your number and this call is
Mhm.
being recorded. If I run into her in the street, we're gonna have a misunderstanding, me and her. But
Right.
she was the saved by the bell, huh?
Oh yeah,
When
absolutely.
okay.
Yes, day room recall. Great. Thank you so much. We'll talk about this tomorrow.
Exactly, exactly.
So just
Yeah.
like small things like that, where it's like, due to the constriction and the limitations, it made
Right.
things easier at some point, because now we're here, we have to sit in it. There's no kind of getting away from it. And we now have to be our own bosses to like take that time, versus the 15-minute lady kind of giving us the time out for us.
It's one of the things, it's one of the things that I try to explain to people who are incarcerated that have wives and stuff, is that your relationship based on the circumstances is more superficial than you think it is. There's just Because the circumstances just don't allow you to be as deep as it is once you're in it 24/7,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah.
So but I never thought about it from the perspective of it helping to keep things fresh, because it avoids the long drawn out arguments
Yeah.
It's like that never even occurred to me.
Right. I mean, same thing if you have an argument in the visiting room, which, like, I mean, we all have had, I'm sure, like, you're not going to be cussing and fussing and doing maybe what you would do in your own home. So, like, you don't
Right.
even know how the other person really argues till you're face to face.
Okay. So that's one very good example. Give me another one of something that, was easier when he was incarcerated.
Um, I, I just got to make a lot of the choices.
Uh-huh.
Like, now it's like this, even just simple things of like, I take on the responsibility, like, I'm better at the bills. So I just do it. I didn't have to explain anything. Now he's like, I want to learn, I want to know. And I'm like, okay, this is going to require patience because you don't know how to do any of these things, right? Like, so, like, certain things I just had more autonomy to just do because he just trusted. Now that he's here, he wants to know and learn, which I absolutely love, but also test my patience.
I was gonna say, yeah, and then on top of it, the bill got to be paid. Okay, you look right. So, it's one of the things that I've explained to people is that it's like going 70 miles an hour on the highway, and now he jumped in the car. Now he wants to take the wheel,
Mm-hmm.
right? Well, you've been in survival mode, pushing, 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 and if you came up off the gas before, you was gonna be overrun by the people behind you. Well,
Mm-hmm.
now it's still the case, but you gotta, by necessity,
Yeah.
you gotta allow him to do that because otherwise that's not a marriage, right?
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately you want him to take over some of those things because it's
Totally.
going to take the load off of you,
Right.
right? So it's like you want this, but at the same time, how do I get there?
Mm-hmm.
And how do we get there without killing each other,
Right. Right.
right? Or without making each other feel unappreciated.
Mm-hmm.
Because see, it could feel like you're not appreciated for all of what you've done all those years
Mm-hmm.
because, well, I want to do it. But at the same time, he could feel unappreciated that, or feel like you just want to continue to be in control because that's a big thing,
Yeah.
right? You just want to control. That is one thing that men say. Women, they just want to be in control. Well, not
Mm-hmm.
all the time. That's not what it is. And that's why I've had to explain to a lot of men. No, sometimes it's fear, and worse than that, we don't even know where to ask for help at
Mm-hmm.
because we're so used to juggling it all at the same time. We don't even know where to stop to ask you for help.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to kind of get in where you can fit in and take stuff off of our plate because heavens knows I can tell you for me, I can certainly speak for me. Any man that makes my life easier touches my heart,
Mm-hmm.
especially because I don't get that a lot. You know what I mean? So anybody that's gonna make my life easier is a-okay with me.
Mm-hmm.
Now let me ask you this:
Mm-hmm.
because of your profession and your training,
Mm-hmm.
how did that play in?
It doesn't help at all.
And I'm so not surprised that you said that. Go ahead, please
No.
explain. Please explain.
Because it's like when you're in your own stuff, regardless if you know what to do, you just don't do, right? Like, I've heard so many times, well, you're a marriage and family therapist, so you must be a great wife. No, like, I'm just as shitty as any other wife could be. Like, if we fight, I'm fighting dirty. I don't hold my tongue very well. So it's like, I know the tools. I know I should fight there. Like, I
Darcy.
know all these things, right? I mean, just being honest, right? Like, but it doesn't translate when you're in the midst of it.
No.
It just really doesn't. So it's like, it didn't help me in the moment. Afterwards, like, reconciling those type of things when I can be more level-headed, absolutely. But it doesn't even, it's not a benefit for him because he'll be like, love him, but he's like, you're psychobabble, like, don't talk to me like I'm a
Okay,
client
right. Yes.
couch, right? Like, and I'm just trying to explain something, but it does come across very clinical, sometimes very like book smart, and he's just like, talk like a regular person. And I'm like, I sometimes struggle with, like, when I'm explaining something, how to explain it, not how I would if I'm at work. So it's like, it hasn't been a benefit really at all. Besides, it's just my job. Like, I don't look at it any
Yeah.
different as
And if
someone.
anything has presented challenges,
Yeah.
right? Because like I can hear him saying, don't be talking psychobabble to me.
Oh yeah.
I can hear him saying that. You know what I mean? Like, no, don't psychoanalyze me.
Right.
So I can see where that could definitely be a challenge.
Mm.
So because nobody wants to feel like they're being, what do they call it, shrunk? When you go to the shrink, nobody wants to feel like they're being, treated that
Analyze.
way. But the other side of it that's crazy about it is part of my job is property management. So I can go into a property and like I just came out of the CVS and I had to ask the manager, can you, as a customer, I'm asking you, can you please get somebody to wash down the front of this building, this store? It is so nasty and so uninviting. I can't unmanage property. I can't walk into a space and not manage property.
Yeah.
So in your job, I'm sure, and even though you're in a relationship, when he says things, whatever you're saying, you're thinking it the way you think it, because that's the way you've been trained to think, and that's what
Right.
it's what you do every day. I will say, I've said this here many times, is that I'm grateful that I facilitate as often as I do, because it forces me in my own personal life to keep the principles in front of me. But I also haven't been in a full-blown relationship since I started facilitating regularly like this. So that I can see it being a challenge though. And especially if somebody knows that, because anybody that knows me is going to know that I do this. Like I can remember years ago dating a guy, he knew that I was the boss at the company. And as the very first time that I had to check him on some bullshit he was trying to serve, and I said, nah, that ain't right. I wasn't going for it. You know what? You just always want to be the boss. Yeah, the hell that you gaslighting the shit out of me. But at the same time, I don't give a fuck what you say. It ain't right. So, and I'm not going for what you just said. The answer is still no. But that was what was thrown in my face. You're not the boss all the time, not knowing that me as a woman, please let me not have to make the decisions. Like, I would love to just throw them off on somebody else. Please sign me up. Just let me be cute. You know what I'm saying? I would love to do that. Cook and all that. I love that shit. Yeah, sign me up. But that's not that's not the straps I was dealt.
Right.
So I got to deal with it how I got to get it how I live. And so I am I'm super grateful. I want to ask you, because like you said, you're 2 or 3 or whatever, start kicking in. Oh, this is tough. And how do I do this? How's he doing with it? How's he doing now?
He's doing really well now. He's got a good groove, a rhythm, independence is highly important. I mean, I'm really proud of how well he's adjusted to. I mean, he did 24 years. So I mean, how well he's adjusted after that has been highly impressive.
Good. Well, I was impressed when I met him. I was certainly impressed when I met him. And I'm really glad that you took the time to join us today. And
Absolutely.
hopefully he will, if it fits in his schedule sometime soon to do the same. And what I want to talk about tonight, I think, is going to be important for anybody. But I just had to give you a little time right now. And what I want to talk about is our self-worth. Because if we don't put a value on us, other people will. And that value is usually pretty low. That value is only as high as I get what I want from you. If you don't set your value, I'm going to take as many discounts as I can with you. I'm going to get it for the low investment. That's why I write in the book, Hurt People Highway, you got to invest in the Bank of Noreen to get some withdrawals over here. You don't get to just come here and be a place to take and receive any longer. That's not acceptable for me. So worth, the definition. You guys know I like to use the definition of words. Why? Because I don't want you to think it means something. He think it means something, and I think it means something else. And we talking, and we think we're talking and communicating in the same language, and we're not. So if we start with what the definition is, the value equivalent to that of someone or something under consideration. The value of, in our case, someone under consideration. So let's think about that from a relationship standpoint. What's this person's worth to me, right? The level at which someone or something deserves to be valued or rated. But for our purposes, we're going to talk about the value equivalent to someone under consideration. Why? Because one of the things we talk about at Free to Heal here, and we're all trying to be better, and I talk about it all the time when I'm delivering my Hurt People Highway curriculum, which is we never entered relationships intentionally. We just kind of happened into them. We didn't set out to be in a relationship. We didn't set out to get involved. We didn't set guidelines or parameters. We didn't talk about what we doing. We didn't define a lot of stuff. We just woke up, and that's my boo, my Mr. Goodbar. You know what I'm saying? That's how we wound up. And it could be 3 months, 6 months, a year, and that's where we are. But we never sat down and thought about or talked about what it is that we're doing, right? So now, turn this off, because the politicians, if they don't stop texting me, I'm telling you, they want money bad right now. They want money bad, but they ain't getting none of my money. Sorry. But everything has a value. Everything has a value. You know, we talk here oftentimes about the convenience factor, that in a relationship, oftentimes people choose to stay with people because the person makes it convenient. They make it easy. But if you buy that bottle of water in the case at Costco, it might cost you 50 cents a bottle. You buy it at the liquor store, it might be $1.50 a bottle, but you buy it at the airport, it's $8 for the convenience. Because once you get in that airport, they know, first of all, you can't bring no liquid in there. And if you want to buy something in here, you're going to pay a premium for convenience. Now, if I'm a dude living in the hood and I only pop in on this chick, when I feel like it, or when I want to, and she let me come through and hit whenever I get ready and all that, that sound convenient and sound good. But guess what your price for that is? Your manhood, your kingship. You will never be a king as long as you messing around with hood rats and scallywags. They're never going to motivate you to be the best man that you can.
Can I get one?
You want a he wouldn't even know what to do with a scallywag. Pike over here, me and Cheryl tried to give him a gift for his birthday a couple years back, and he wouldn't take it, would he, Cheryl? He didn't take our gift. We offered him a gift.
I got scared.
He got scared. He didn't want that gift. So I'm saying that the woman that is the best match for a man is a woman that will support him, but she'll also challenge him. She'll challenge him to be the best that he can be. She will not accept the minimal from him. She will require him to stretch himself to be the best that he can be, not to prove something to her, but to prove it to himself. Plus, that's the way she sees him anyway. But there's too much convenience going on. We're not using any, we don't value ourselves. And that's what caused me today. I have too many people close to me now who are, they're settling for less than what they deserve. And it really hurts me because I don't have any ability to change that. I can't stop it. All I can do is sit and watch them get hurt, watch them lose things, watch them waste time. But it's amazing to me that we will put so much effort and energy into some bullshit. And then when we get hurt, now we don't want to put no effort into nothing else. Now I'm taking my marbles and I'm going home. And I don't want to play it all now. But you passing up that's really good for you. Because you're so scared now. And I'm like, but it's about your worth though. If you don't know you deserve better, then you're going to be willing to accept less. You got to see yourself. I'm going to tell y'all from here. I'm top shelf liquor. The one they need the key behind on the top shelf with the key. That's me. That's my value. You got to come there to get me. Okay. I'm not out there with the champagne and the little 4-pack. Okay. That's not me. Okay. You're gonna have to spend a little something to get this. And it ain't your money, because I don't need your damn money. You know what I mean? I don't need a man's money. I got my own money. I bought my first house before I was 30 years old on my own. So that's not what I need from you. I've never met a man yet that didn't have a bad attitude when his money wasn't right. I've never met one. Why? Because you guys are providers. That's what you do. And if you can't provide, you have an attitude. And I get it. But the reality for a lot of us, particularly in today's time, because women finally could work on our own, we can build our own, bank accounts and do these things. So we don't need you for that necessarily. Some of us don't. Guess what? We still want you. We still want you. And we want that man in our lives. I don't know a independent woman who's taking care of herself that don't want a companion or don't want a mate. I don't know none. You don't want to? No.
There you go.
Okay, so I just found out right now that I know one. But I'm gonna tell you from here, I believe that's bullshit too. And the reason I say that is I think that's fear talking. I don't think that's what's really real. I think they're afraid of being hurt.
Yeah, well, they.
As opposed to not really wanting it. That's what I'm
Not
saying.
me.
Yes. Huh?
Not me. I
Not you,
mean, you
but
know, I straighten my crown up every day. Hey, I have to let them know. Hey, you coming like a bow hog. I'm going to go to you like a bow hog. I'm going to hit it to quit. I'm going to get on down because it's queen I am. Hey, I ain't for no little bit of change no more. I'm for big and better things with a whole lot of green in the hand.
say that, Miss Vivian. Say it for the people back and in the back that didn't hear, baby. Say it. And what kind of hog is that? A boat
A
hog?
bow hog. You know how them bow hogs get on and get what they going to get and get on down. Hey.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
gonna be a sweetheart. If you gonna get this here, if you think I'm gonna lay, you gonna pay and you gonna pay good because this ain't giving Mississippi. This can Mississippi. Hey,
Okay.
I ain't finna shake a little bit of something for a little bit of change. You got to
You
come
ain't doing
on
no
with it.
exchange for no change. I heard you,
No,
Miss
no, no,
Vivian.
no. You got to come on with them. Hey, Abe Hammers and Lincoln, big old face on us.
I love it. I love it. And I'm so glad that
Mm-mm.
you found your value, Miss Vivian.
I had to because the life that I lived before I went to prison and the life that I live after prison, I'm independent of my own, got my own job. I work for myself now. You know,
Hallelujah.
before I went to prison and everything, I was doing a little strange thing for a little bit of change, you know. I was kneeling for my meal and everything. But today, that 360, you know, when I want to go out and get with me a guy, I'm going to let him know, look, hey, looks can be deceiving. Hey, if you coming at me, you're going to have to come correct. I don't know what
Yeah.
you had before me, but what you're going to have with me, hey, you're going to have to maintain. I like my nails did. I like my hair done. I love my lashes. So,
Oh, you
hey,
know
if
your
you're going to get with
lashes?
this here, you get with this here, you're going to have to come on with the come on. Because, hey, ain't no faking and shaking here. I'm going to give it to you straight and live. Because if I don't do you like that, hey, you're going to try to come me with that gas like, oh, it ain't going to work on me. I've been there, done that. So you better come on with the come on.
And you know what it is? What they'll do is they'll get it for as little investment as they have to give. That's the sad part, is that if we don't set the value, somebody
The
else will.
value on our worth.
That's it. It's our worth. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So the person in control of the product sets the value.
That's true.
The person in control of the product sets the value. I have done consulting work for people on a variety of things. They can't tell me what my time is worth. Now, if I'm too expensive for you, that's okay. It's absolutely fine. But you cannot tell me, oh, well, that's too much. No, well, then you go find you somebody else.
And Miss Marine, being expensive don't mean you're trying to take control. You're just trying to know your self worth, your
Yes,
value that you have on yourself. You know, you're gonna think more of yourself because I really don't know how you're feeling. So my feelings got to match yours. See how you feeling? Because if I match yours and yours got a little negative in it, deuces, deuces, deuces.
yeah. Yeah, we're not doing negativity. We can't do, that's the worst thing in the world. Don't nobody like to be around
No.
negative Nelly. Somebody always got a problem. Always. Who wants to be around that every day? And anybody that wants to be around that, they usually are negative like that. Like I was talking to the guys in Folsom on Saturday, and we were talking about this trauma bonding. Like, you angry at the world, I'm angry at the world, and we get along because we both angry at the world. But if one of those people in that relationship starts to heal and deal with what made them angry in the first place, the relationship is going to fall apart. Because that brought them together, the negativity, the drama, all of that stuff, those things are no longer there.
Because they were looking outside of the book instead of trying to read the book together, try to pull each other up together. You know, one's pulling down, the other pulling the other way. You can't do that. You got to put value on each and everything that you do, especially in a relationship. If you value me, I'm definitely going to value you. I'm going to push you like you push me. But if I'm pushing you and you're not pushing me, hey, okay, well, hey, I got to holler at you then, because ain't nothing else going on, because I want to be strengthened, you know. I want iron to sharpen iron. I want to be
Iron
motivated.
sharpen iron, Ms. Viv. Iron sharpen iron. And if we can't be that, then to me, I just feel like it's pointless. I feel like it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. If you can't enhance my life or in some way, and that could be by reducing stress. That could be by taking things off of my plate. It could be a whole lot of things. It doesn't necessarily have to be money, but you got to enhance my life in some way. You got to add value. You got to bring something to it. Because even my friends do that, right? I select my friends circle based on them adding value to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't no hangers on. It ain't no, you know what I'm saying? Nobody around me constantly that ain't add nothing to it. Or if it ain't nothing but your crazy ass make me laugh all the time. Boom. You know what I'm saying? It could be
Yeah, we
that
got to
simple.
motivate each other.
You gotta add something, right? You gotta invest in the Bank of Noreen to be in my life. That's just the bottom line. If you can't do that, it don't mean anything. So the person in control sets the value. Who's setting the value for your self-worth? Now, that's a question, it's a loaded question because a lot of people started devaluing themselves as children and when they're young. So, but who sets the value for your time? Who sets the value for your energy?
The board.
Who sets the value for your body and your work? Right? Who's gonna define that for you? And if you can't answer that question, then you need to figure that out. That's something that you need to spend your time thinking about. Who's setting the worth? The high price items are never available to just anybody. You will never see a Rolls Royce commercial. You're not going to see it. They don't advertise. If they need to advertise, they're not selling. You're not the right person for them. And they're never on sale. There's no sale, not even on Labor Day, right? No back to school sales on Rolls Royces, right? Because they know the worth of the car. And if you need a discount, that ain't the car for you to buy. That's one of the reasons why people that drive them love it, because it's a status symbol to them. People already know that was expensive because they don't go on sale. Mm-hmm. I'm not putting me on sale, am I, Terrell? How you doing?
I would suggest not. And I ain't never known you to be for sale.
You know what I'm saying? I'm glad you could join us. How you doing? You good?
Yeah, I'm blessed. Just catching up with time.
Good. So we talking about self-worth right now, okay?
Okay. I love
the highest quality don't go on sale. People will never pay for what they can get anywhere. Denzel Washington used to say he doesn't go to every party and all those things because why they need to pay him if they could see him for free all the time? Why would people go to the theater to see him if they could see him every time they open up the TV or whatever, right? So you gotta set some value for yourself. You gotta determine what that is. If you're like every other woman or man, why would anybody value you? If you can run into me on the street on any given corner, I don't have nothing that's no more valuable than that, then what sets me apart? Or why would I even pay for it? Why would I bother? Why would anybody bother? If you can get the same thing everywhere, why would anybody bother paying a price for it at all? And for those who have devalued themselves, and I'm gonna raise my hand as one of those people who have devalued myself before, and given myself away for too little before. It'll never happen again. It'll never happen again. And one thing I noticed too is once I start, this is the crazy part. Once I started to value me, the quality of the person that is attracted to me changed too. Once I believed I had a value and a worth, then the kind of man that even was attracted to me or that would step to me got better. So there's hope once you begin to see your worth. Okay. How do you raise, if they can't get what you have, if they can get what you have with no investment, why would they turn around and pay for it? Like if I just give all my time and energy and everything away, and you can have it and you haven't had to invest nothing, all you got to do is just call and I let you come through and kick it and be at my house and burn my electricity and fart on my couch and all this. Why would you then invest anything after that?
Right by the cow.
When you already got the milk for free, you already drank the milk. Shit, not only did you get the cow, you got the milk and drank it already. And now I'm telling you, I want you to pay for the cow. Well, that's kind of dumb. That's kind of dumb. Why would I pay for what I already got? Don't make no sense. How do you raise your value if you've been selling yourself for cheap? First, recognize that you're unique, special, and this is the biggest one. You deserve the best. I think this is where people, is one of the biggest reasons that we don't require nothing. We don't think we deserve no better. We don't think that we deserve to have higher quality. We think this is the best I can do. I can remember with the guy that almost made me lose my mind. I used to think, I'm not going to never find nobody better than him. That just wasn't true. It just wasn't true. Now he was really good. He really was. He had some high qualities. He had great qualities and a long list of them too. But it didn't matter because the way he treated me, he didn't value me the way I needed to be valued. And so it doesn't matter what he has or how good he may look on paper and how many boxes of mine he checked. He wasn't treating me the way I needed to be treated. And so as a result of that, I should have kicked him to the curb very quickly. But I didn't. Because I kept thinking it's never going to get no better than this. Well, never tell yourself that. It's going to get better than that. If you decide it needs to be better than that. But you got
sure right. That's one eye open. Not both of them eyes open. That was one eye, half
right?
open, peeping through it. But once you open both of them eyes, you seen that value, you seen that worth, you seen everything that you want with the life that you need to go in order to make it find success. You know what? You're not once was what you was. You're better than you was, but then.
That's a fact. That's a fact. But what it requires though is for us to be honest with ourselves about the fact that we didn't even think we deserved better. Because that's a hard pill to swallow, is to think that I devalued myself. Then I got to figure out why. And those are usually painful revelations. It's painful to peel back that onion, right? You think about peeling the onion, you start to cry, and, little mists come up and you start to cry. Well, yeah, you got to peel them layers back and get down to the root of it. Because then you can figure out why you did it, why you participated, and you can get, because usually there's a false belief underneath of those things. There's something you have told yourself about yourself that's not true. There's something you believe, whether it's about you or other people or society or whatever, there's something you believe that's not real. Because anything that causes you to devalue yourself can't be real. It can't be real. Like I know I'm a sexual assault survivor. So I know sexual assault survivors, a lot of times, especially when you're a kid, we blame ourselves. As a woman, I was a grown woman. I still blame myself. Initially. But now I know better. There was nothing nothing justified what happened, that man's behavior, nothing. So a lot of times we tell ourselves, I shouldn't have done this, or I should, that may be true, but that still didn't justify the other person's behavior. It didn't give them carte blanche to do that, no matter what. It still did. So at the end of the day, because I know, like, as kids, a lot of times when parents divorce, the kids blame themselves, and the kids didn't have nothing to do with it. They didn't have anything to do with it. But we internalize, and a lot of times that's what causes us to then say, I'm not worthy, I don't deserve this. So there's a movie out right now, just came out on Netflix, Ruth and Boaz. And Ruth's character in the movie, she felt like, based on some things that I won't tell you just in case you haven't seen it, but her thing was, at one point she says in the movie, I don't get to fall in love and live happily ever after. Because she felt she was responsible for some things, and she felt like that was the consequence, that was the price that she had to pay. I don't get to be happy. A lot of times we tell ourselves that, but that's just not true. Listen, we're not the worst thing we've ever done or the worst mistake we've ever made. We're so much more than that. We're not confined. That doesn't define who we are and what our worth. It doesn't, unless we decide that's what it is. And more often than not, that's us deciding that. And what we're doing is we're cutting ourselves off from our good and what we rightfully deserve. And I think because I have a few people right now that are close to me that they just don't feel like they deserve better. Like, it's tragic. I mean, I see it, and there's, like I said, there's a few people, and that's probably why this came to me this week, is because it's a few people, and I'm like, oh my gosh, but look at you, you're this, you're that, you're great in this way, you're great in that way, and why are you boxing yourself in? But I know that unless and until each person decides they have a worth, unless they decide what their worth is, I can't help them figure it out. You can't help them. Nobody else can. Nobody else can do that. They have to do it for themselves. You know, most of the things that we talk about here at Free to Heal are inside jobs. It's work that can only be done by the person experiencing it. I can't do it for you. I can't fix it for you. You can't fix it for me. You got to want to fix it. Or else we can plant seeds and one can water or whatever, right? But we cannot fix it for you. If you know, the insecurities that I had about relationships and stuff, nobody could fix that but me. Because the world didn't see me the way I see me. The world looked at me totally different, right? Which is so amazing. Like, they see, I had a guy say, well, she's all this. Okay, well, I'm still a girl, right? And I still got insecurities like every other woman. You know, there's things about me that, you know what I'm saying, that I will be insecure about. Now, of course, that was then, because now I'm too old to be insecure. I don't give a fuck. At this point, you don't like this shit, oh well, bye. Keep it moving. Or not, I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? That now I think I'm just too old to care. You know, but that doesn't mean that those things didn't still exist and that they won't rear their head, right? In a situation, and cause me now to have to rely and read some of this stuff again. Okay, Noreen, what's your worth? Okay, what's it gonna cost? Right? Because I tell you guys this all the time. This is why I love to facilitate and do this regularly, because it keeps me on the straight and narrow with my own self. So I don't play me. I can't, because I got to come face you guys every week. And then I got the peanut gallery, and you know, Terrell, they mild today, honey. They mild, they sedate. You got Pike in the house, and he ain't talk no shit yet. I mean, we winning. We are winning. Listen, shh. Don't tell them I said so, Terrell. They might wake up. Shh. Let him sleep. But I do want to open it up. Oh wait, so I want to say this. Another way you raise your value, stop settling for a piece of the pie, demand the entire pie. Okay. Somebody said today, asked a question on Facebook talking about can a man get peace, PACE, from the side piece? I said no. Everybody was saying, yeah. And I was like, no, he can't. What he get is an escape from reality.
You get a piece of ass.
Okay. Okay.
Ass is wet. That's all.
But listen, but that ain't peace. Listen, all it is that it's an escape from your reality. See, when you go home, you got responsibilities, you being held accountable, this and that. You go deal with the side piece. Look, she ain't got to do nothing but look cute right then and there, or him. Because let's be fair. Okay, it ain't just women that get, men that cheat. Okay, women do
Y'all
it too.
hear this? Y'all listen.
You hear me?
Y'all men on here, listen down.
Waiting and
Coming from a woman's mouth, so listen.
What you say, Mel?
Side pieces are called the 3 W's: wishing, waiting, and wanting.
Oh, the side piece is wishing, waiting, and wanting.
That's it.
That's it.
You're not getting no holidays.
Right.
He's not spending your birthday with you.
No.
He's not spending his birthday with you. So you know, like all you getting is a wet ass when you a side piece.
Yeah, but the concept that side piece is going to give a man peace of mind is bullshit. No, what she did is she allowed him to escape his reality for a few hours. And at the end of the day, he going right back home to his wife, because guess what else she don't know she did? She made it easier for him to stay home, to stay with his wife. Because what she did was she relieved, if there's pressure at home, because they always try to make it seem like they're the wife at home is the reason why they cheat. That's bullshit. They cheat because they cheat. But whatever pressure it is, that side piece for a moment let him escape reality and relieve that pressure. And now he going right back in and stay right there. Because guess what? If he wanted to leave his wife, he'd have done it already, and he didn't need your ass to come around to make him decide he wanted to leave.
You're picking on men today.
No, I ain't.
Yeah, you are.
No, I ain't. Did I not just say women cheat too? See, here you go. I done woke his ass up, Pipe. I woke his ass up, Terrell. Now he accusing me of bashing men. I ain't bashed men not one time tonight.
What's up, you young fart?
Hey.
What young fart? He don't know nothing about no young fart.
Old fart.
He admit he an old fart, Terrell. Look, wait, let me. Wait, come over here. Slide over here so they can see you. Because they ain't seen you in a minute.
I can see.
What's up, you young fart?
Hey,
That's our resident old fart. How about that? That's the resident old fart. Look, love him for that too, right?
Your ass is crazy.
We do. But at the end of the day, if again, a side piece is only going to help you just escape reality. That's what it is. It's an escape. I was talking to the guys in Folsom on Saturday, and we were talking about the mentality of oftentimes because I always question the mentality of a woman who goes to seek a man, for example, that has a life sentence, that doesn't know, like, I don't know what that psychology is, right? But one of the things that one of the guys talked about, and I said, oh my gosh, it rang true to me that it's an escape from reality, right? If I'm a woman and I don't like what's going on, but I don't really want the full-time responsibility of being a wife or whatever, or being in a relationship, having someone who's incarcerated that I have this short spurts of relationship with may help them to escape reality. And that may be the reason why it works for them. But it also may be the reason why, for example, the several guys that I know that came home that met women online when they were incarcerated and they had life sentences, but the minute that they got a date, the relationship started to fail. Or when they came home, if they even made it home before the divorce, the relationship failed at that point. And I know one guy, he said as soon as he got a date, she divorced him. But it may have been that may have been her escape from reality, right? That may have given her the fantasy world that she wanted to live in. That I have this husband that loves me and I love him and this, and that. But now when I gotta actually, right now when I actually gotta live this, I'm not so ready to do that. What do you want to say, Pipe?
I knew guys inside that met women online. And like you said, they come into the visiting
Mm-hmm.
and they know they're only gonna be there 2 hours, so. And then when they leave, they think, okay, I don't have to worry about that prick, you know. But I knew a guy one time when I was in Alabama, didn't have a nickel in his pocket. So him and 2 other guys bought this book of women,
Mm-hmm.
you know, who went to the book. This guy started writing letters,
Mm-hmm.
right? And the next thing you know, he got a pocket full of money.
Mm.
And the mail place said, you gotta cut this down to 10 women or 15.
Dang.
Because he had like 100 fucking women, you know, he was writing to, and they were kicking him down, and he went from nothing in there to a baller.
Big baller shot calling.
Yeah,
All on somebody else's dime.
yep.
All on somebody else's dime. But for the woman, there was a payoff in that. In other words, they did it for their own reasons. And honestly, I don't blame him if they're gonna participate. That's what they want to do. I'm taking it. I'm sorry. I can't even be mad at them for that.
It's fee for service.
Fee for service, right?
Well, you know what? It's like guys that on the news and stuff for what they did. And the woman knows he's never coming out of prison. I don't give a.
Oh, the famous story, the famous, like the Menendez brothers and stuff like that. Uh-huh.
But they know they're never getting out.
Right.
So they marry him.
Mm-hmm.
They do all kind of shit.
Yeah.
And it's only because in their mind, like I said, they go visit them once a month or something. And
Don't require a whole lot.
no,
It don't require a whole lot. It certainly don't require what it requires, as we were talking with Darcy earlier, this everyday thing. You know, I talk to the guys in the prison all the time about prison. Just the very nature of a person being incarcerated limits the depth that you can go into in a relationship. Because, for example, if you want to talk about some real serious stuff, you're not going to do that on that phone call where you know that they're recording it. You're not going to do it. I didn't. I certainly wouldn't. And I know my guy wouldn't. You know, we didn't want to talk about really, really personal things like that. When you're in visiting.
Yeah.
Huh?
You still only got it.
Right. And even if you, like Tony just said, even if you did want to talk about it, you still only have 15 minutes on the phone call. Right
now.
Oh yeah, it's still 15 minutes.
No, yeah, but they have
the tablets. Yeah.
And they're restricted to 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But all they can do is
call back
and they can talk.
Yeah, but it don't matter. There's certain things you're still not going to talk about, right? And at some point, it's still going to be interrupted. At some point, that call is going to be ended. So like what Darcy was saying earlier, that's not what happens in real life. Like when we're living in the same house and we're having an argument, that you don't get the ding, 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 the bell is stopped, and now I get to go catch my breath.
No,
you don't get none of that, right?
You know what? I was waiting for a phone call, right? You know how there's a line. And this guy's on the phone and he's cussing at this girl because she only sent him $10. And he's all pissed off and everything. And so when they told him to get off the phone, he was still bitching about that $10. And you know I'm an asshole. And I told him, I said, hey, look, dude, have her send me $10.
And you'll say thank you.
Yeah.
He gonna take it. He gonna take the man's girl, Terrell, because he gonna treat her sweet. He gonna take the $10 and take his girl, Terrell. Yeah, because he gonna give whisper sweet nothings in her ear and she can send that 10 whenever she wants.
Yeah.
It don't matter.
That's funny.
But guess what though? There's a lot of them that do that. Okay.
He wanted to fight, but he knew that.
He knew better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'd kill him.
Okay. He knew who he was dealing with. But there's and so another way that you can raise your value is stop putting other people's needs ahead of your own. That was one of my major violations. Always putting everybody else ahead of me. My body is the temple of the Holy Spirit. When I put things ahead of myself, that means I put it ahead of the Holy Spirit. And that's a violation. That's called idolatry. And I did it. And it's a heavy price to pay for that. Okay. There's a heavy price to pay for that. When you put somebody up on a pedestal so high that you got to look up like this, you fucked up.
You know what I told you before? Why I never married.
Uh-huh.
Because I always knew I was going to prison.
Right.
And I didn't want a family. Because
you were leaving it.
I don't want kids coming into the prison and what am I, a 15-minute daddy?
Mm.
I had a cellie that his kid was messing up at home. And he told me that he was going to go out there and do something to that kid. But I knew he couldn't because he's in the visiting room. Because he'd get killed.
Mm-hmm.
But I told him, all that kid has to do, he was 16, right? Is tell his mom, I don't want to go to the prison.
Mm-hmm.
So the kid can just say, the hell with you.
Very often, but I will say this though, Pike, and that's this. You can still be a parent in your children's lives. The communication is the key, the consistency in the communication, because
I think it depends on the wife.
Caregiver or whoever the custodial person
because
is. Some of it does and some of it doesn't. This is why I say that, Pike, because I have, you can, even if you can still do your part, even if the custodial parent or the custodian doesn't allow them to come visit and things like that. I suggested to one guy, you know what, write the kid letters anyway. Write them.
Yeah. Send
them, right? So that if nothing else, when you come some years later and they start talking shit, you got receipts. What happened to all them letters? I sent all those letters. They never came back to me. So somebody got them. Find out where your letters are. And then that child can go back and read them. When I think about The Color Purple, right? Celie found all them letters and she sat down and put them in date order and found them letters and found out what Nettie had been going through all of that time. And that meant something to her. To a child to know that a parent did consistently want to communicate with them and be a part of their lives means a lot. And I know that it's difficult. I'm not saying it's the easiest thing to do, but I can say there's value. You have value because you are the parent. Children.
I was a jailhouse mom.
Really?
LaShawn's dad went to jail 10 days before she was born, and he didn't come out till like she was 12, and he kept going back. He just got to where probably the last 10 years that he haven't been going. She's 35 now.
Wow.
But their daughter and dad, because I kept the consistency, the conversations, the letters, the visiting, I kept everything going with them.
And it matters, right? So they can still have that relationship. So I'm saying that to say that it is okay to maintain or at least try, do what you can do. You can't control what happens from there, but you can control what you do. So if that means writing a letter or when you get an opportunity to just be a listening ear, right? Take it, take it so that you can invest.
Could I say something?
Absolutely.
Me and my son, he turned 27 yesterday. And when I was in prison, that's when our relationship, that's when our relationship started growing. My first cousin got him after my mom died in 2006. During that time, I was on drugs. We could walk each other like passing the street. He wasn't allowed to speak to me, but I never gave up. I was always praying. So when his 16th birthday came, I wrote him a letter. I always say I wrote him letters from prison, but I asked someone to use a phone. I got to speak to him for my own self. And he said, "Can I come see you?" I said, "Yeah, you can come see me. I've been to Sunshine Visitation." I said, "I tell you what, I'm putting this in the mail tonight. It's going to take a day to get to you." I said, "Be at the mailbox because every letter that I wrote, she would alter the letter. She'll put words in. When I put I love you, she'll scratch that out and put other things in there." But
Wow.
today he's 27 years old, and since 16, we have the most beautiful relationship with nothing but God. And I'll be clean going on 13 years,
Hallelujah.
February 14. So with that relationship, hey, it's don't never give up. I tell anybody, don't never give up. My child could be right in front of me, but he couldn't speak to me. I
Mm.
speak, it's just like I'm looking at a wall. But God is all I can say. But
And,
God,
and
because my value with my family is very important.
and you know what? But it is confirmation of what I said, right?
Yes,
Don't
ma'am.
you do what you can do. Do your part.
Yes,
You do
ma'am.
what you can do. You wrote those letters anyway. You see what I'm saying? You did those things so that at the end of the day, you had receipts showing he could see your effort, right?
Yes,
You
ma'am.
could you could show him where you had written the letter. He could see it in the letter that something was crossed out and something else was put in there, right?
Yes, ma'am.
He could see all those things. So you made your effort. And
But
that's what
the touching part about it, when he came to see me, he put his arm on the table. He said, "Ma, we're not gonna worry about this back here. We're gonna take this up here in the front the way his hand was facing, and that's where we're gonna take this relationship from." Because I was telling him about me being on drugs and I did a strange thing for a little bit of change and things, I was just telling him part of my life that I had been through. The reason he was with my first cousin,
Mhm.
it was because of money. When mama died, he was coming into so much and stuff, But today, just me opening up and being honest with him meant a lot too.
Mhm. The truth is the truth, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Truth will set you free.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The truth, because one thing I find is that in so many instances, I was looking at something on Instagram yesterday, and they were talking about the lies that they tell their children when they were incarcerated. Like one guy said he kept saying he was on vacation, and his daughter, she was little, and she was like 3 years old. "You ain't on no vacation. You in jail, daddy." Like what? But she was 3 years old. They're not stupid. And the
Mhm.
lie makes them resentful more than the truth. A lot of times um yeah, what? In school, in the hospital, all the different places that people say that people that are incarcerated, where it is easy, it's as easy to say they're incarcerated, they're in jail, they made a mistake, something happened, and they're in jail. Because ultimately the kid's gonna find out at some point, but the lie is what hurts the child often more than the reality of what the situation is. You said it what? The lie does what? Omits? Augments. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it does. Damages. It damages, it does. Yes, sir.
I was living with this woman,
Mm-hmm.
you know how I am. And I was on the run just like always. I changed my name and all that crap. But when they come looking for me, they busted in that house and they're yelling for a pipe. And I had my name changed to Pipe. So, but when they finally found out who the hell I was, that shit went over. you know,
Meaning the lady.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Well, because she realized I don't even know who this is. And he
Right.
lied to me even about what his damn name is.
right,
Like you talk about, okay, so listen, in a relationship, the foundation, part of the definition of healthy is balance and soundness. The soundness refers to the foundation that you built the relationship on. If you built it on, I don't even know your fucking name, well, what do I get? I am not.
you know, I joined the Moose Club because my dad drank there,
Uh-huh. The Moose Club.
Moose,
Oh, I love it. Okay.
well, anyhow, so.
That's
Inside that, the booze was good,
okay. Hey.
they pre-poured it. So I go, you need 3 people to sponsor you.
Okay. Oh, to get into the club.
Right.
To be a member. Okay.
So I had my dad and 2 of his friends,
Uh-huh.
right? So when I went to get, I don't know, join, you know, the thing, the guy says my name, Mike. And some guy stopped him and says, his name ain't Mike. Dad's name's Pike, right? So I told the son of a gun, I said, you know my dad? And he said, yeah. I said, he's an asshole, ain't he? What he was.
Uh-huh.
I said, would you keep his fucking name? So anyhow, I got to join because I shut that dude up.
But the fact of the matter is that again, back to the relationship with the woman, right? That kind of lie built into the foundation of the relationship. Just, I mean, I'm sure she would never fool with you again.
Hell no, not when the cops come in there with
And busting
shotguns.
in my damn house with shotguns, and I don't even know who this is. And then I had you in my house around all my stuff. Are you kidding me? No way.
I know.
No way.
But I lived my life like that.
Mhm.
I had more names than Carter had liver pills.
Oh Lord. Okay.
And look here, the funny thing about it is they were all legal.
See.
Even when I finally got out and I went to get a driver's license and they told you, put your finger there. One of those names popped up. It wasn't mine. And I had to go.
And prove you were who you were?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You know, this is the first time since I was 17 or 18 that when I got out of prison on this term, I could use my real name. You know?
And that's when you came out, you were 65. That's a lot. I wanna
I was an old fuck.
Open it up for comments. I wanna start checkout because it's already after 7:15. How about we start with you, Mr. Rufus?
Don't hurt him, Rufus. Don't hurt him.
Rufus always got good stuff to say, Terrell. That's why I start with him. I like him.
Right. I just wanted to comment on well, it was a little surprising that the therapist, Darcy Jackson, said that how that her profession didn't kind of help the situation. That's a little surprising. You know, but I understand it. I do understand it. But I want to comment on the fact that when I was in there, to say this, when I was in there, I tried to be as true to myself. So when I do come home, what I represented in there is what you get.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's kind of hard. I mean, it ain't hard, but it's a little difficult to see why. You know why? Because people ain't true to themselves. And I think that's why the relationships don't always work like that. Because I think that I'm just talking, but I just think that if I'm communicating as truthfully as I am to you, and you're communicating as truthfully as you are to me, and representing who you really are, I know it's a little bit different when you come home and you got to live together and things are different. But if we communicating, then what makes it so difficult? I know we're gonna run across some hard, some tough spots. Yeah, but I think that the way we communicated before, because I'm communicating as true to myself as I am. And
But
I'm
let
not.
me tell you what it is, baby.
Mhm.
You, in every conversation, every time I ever experience you, you tend to be pretty much true to who you are.
Right.
You also have a sense of your self-worth, right?
Right.
You the first time you ever got on the Zoom with us, every conversation, you always have had a sense of who you are. So
Right.
it's probably difficult for you to understand what it's like when you don't know who you are, or you don't know that you deserve better. Like, you've always had this positive thing about what you think you want and what you think
Right.
you deserve. Always.
Right.
I've never had a conversation with you where you didn't. So I
Right.
think it's probably difficult for you to fathom that if you didn't if you didn't know your self-worth, if you didn't care about you the way that you care about yourself, it'd
Right.
be hard, how much more difficult it would be to communicate truthfully. Because
Right.
so in the midst of a conversation, something happens, I can't sit here and say, yeah, but I don't deserve that. I can't tell you that.
Right.
I can say is, oh, no, you don't have to take me there. Or, oh, no, don't buy that for me. Or, no, it's okay. You want to go out your way to take me somewhere, and no, that's okay. You don't have to. Because
Right.
really, I don't believe that I deserve that.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
But you don't know what that's like because you ain't that
Well,
person.
let me say this last thing about being true to myself. I mean, about the way that my self-worth. I think that I didn't have that growing up, that level of self-worth, and but I knew I was better than what I thought. I mean, what I thought I was getting and whatever. So when I did go to prison and started working on my self-worth, I was true to it.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to give myself what I knew I always deserved, even though I wasn't getting it, and I had that low self-esteem and that low self-worth and all that. But I knew I was more than that. So when I did start working on myself, I was sincere and committed to it. You know what I mean?
Once you find it, you never let it go.
Exactly.
Right. And
True.
see, by the time I met you,
Absolutely.
you had already found it. Right. I
Yeah,
think that's
absolutely.
the benefit of what we said.
Absolutely.
Like, it's not like you never experienced what all the rest of us have. It's just that by the time I met you, you had already found your self-worth and found your foundation for who you believe yourself to be. So that's a blessing. But yes,
Right.
because
Thank
but
you.
once you get it, I don't give a damn who you are. Ain't nothing you can offer me that's
Right.
gonna make me throw that back. Oh,
Right.
give a damn. I don't give a
Yeah.
damn. Look,
Right.
anyway, what I'm thinking, I don't even want to say because
Right.
Terrell
But
might
I
might
appreciate you
shut me
letting me
down.
share. I
Let's go.
appreciate
Let's
it.
go.
Shit,
Thank you.
I don't give a motherfucker got a gold tip. I don't give a damn. That's what I'm saying. See, that's why I said, you see that look, see, Terrell, you made me act like you see Rufus had to grab his mouth because you made me say it. Look, okay, we're gonna go to Chester. Chester. Go ahead, Chester. We can't hear you, baby. Uh-oh.
That's on swole over there.
I know, but we can't hear him. He's off mute, but for some reason I can't hear him.
Yeah, because he's working out with my house today.
Okay, well, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm
There
gonna
we
go ahead
go. I thought we could hear him.
and
Go ahead, Chester.
I'm gonna let Harry go ahead and see if Harry could check if Harry could check out.
Okay.
Go ahead,
Hey,
Harry.
great topic. Great topic.
Oh,
I mean, you're on point. I loved everything you said. Uh, I mean, it was rock solid, and I always take everything you tell me, Noreen, at face value.
wonderful.
It's like gold nuggets. These
Oh,
nuggets I put away, and I just throw those away. I squirrel them away, and I always think, you know what?
scroll away like
You
little
always,
nuts.
yeah, but you always manage to say, fix my day, fix my week, right? And I need to fix. Come in
Awesome. I'm
here.
glad we could be here for you here, sweetie. I'm
I
glad we could
know.
be here for you.
I need you. I do always, Lorraine. I
Awesome.
miss you when I'm not here. I feel guilty when I'm not here.
Oh,
I just
No guilt.
Feedback.
This is no guilt at all, baby. You don't have to feel no guilt. Come check us out though here. You gotta, you know what you gotta do. You gotta come see us in person because your Wi-Fi is kind of sketchy. So I want to do that. I'm gonna have Ms. Vivian, if you could give us any of your final thoughts, sweetie, I'd appreciate it.
Well, I really just enjoyed tonight. I think I'm talking a little bit too much,
No, you
but work
didn't.
is
No, you
something I
did
very
not. We
value
needed to
myself
hear
on.
you talk. We needed it. We needed
And
it.
work
No, we
is
did.
something that I value myself on. Because when I first come out of prison, I volunteered for 2 years. Everywhere I tried, I couldn't get no work, couldn't get no work. Now I work for myself.
Mm.
So I put myself at a place and understanding where, hey, you doing this, I done did this for 2 years. I said, God, I know you got something for me. I said, I'm being patient, I'm waiting. I'm not gonna rush anything. I'm gonna take my time. Cause me, I always been speedy gun godless. I always been speedy, but once I slowed my roll, just went at that pace. Now I've been independent on my own for almost 3 years,
I love it. I
working
love
for
it. I'm so
myself.
happy for you. You know, one of the things, you know, the idea that you work for yourself, you know, I always encourage people have a lot of skills that are incarcerated a lot of times. And a lot of times other people won't let you use those skills when you come home. So I say work for yourself, you know, as best as you can. And you figured out how to do that for yourself. So I just want to give you your flowers right here and
Yes,
say,
because I have a cell charge. I have a cell charge and I work in the medical field.
wow, that's
But
awesome.
God,
That take a lot. That take a lot. That took a
yes,
lot of
ma'am. So
faithfulness.
thank you.
Thank you so much for being here, Mr. Terrell.
I'm just here for the last.
You know what? We're gonna beat you. We're gonna stick some pencils out them dimples. That's what we're gonna do.
No, no, it was a good topic. I mean, self-worth is everything, you know, because if you don't love yourself, you don't have no worth for yourself, then why should somebody else? You know what I'm saying? So it's just the fact that some people don't get their self-worth until they have that aha moment in their life. And you just never know when it's gonna be. You know, whether it's be as a kid, as a teenager, as somebody in jail, get out of jail, it don't matter. The age is just that point in life. If you're not just a high strung person already and you don't have that confidence, you know, and high self esteem, you're going and you got low self esteem, it's gonna come out. So, but it's a matter of when you recognize your self worth that you like ain't no ceiling, like you ain't got no ceiling, like the fuck, you know, excuse my language, but it's like,
Yeah, for real.
you know, and value
You
yourself.
stop putting up with stuff, Terrell.
And
Stop putting up with stuff. Like you know what I'm saying?
what?
Like
What? What? I don't play that. I don't do that. That's what I don't do. Because like I said, hey, I promise you, it's it's like ain't nothing in this world that can actually make me not want to be here anymore and undervalue me. You know what I'm saying? Because I know I'm special that God made me. So, and I'm an individual. So I came here as an individual and I respect and love everybody, but my self-worth is my self-worth. And, you know, God made me special. So I would say it's a blessing and a curse, but I just took away the curse shit because it's a blessing. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no curse. You know what I'm saying? The fact that you're
even
here.
if you want the special on that little yellow bus, Terrell, it's
Oh,
okay.
yeah, yeah.
Be
I went on a
special.
little, yeah. But look, I tell you all the time, all the cards in my decks, cards is missing, right? But God replaced it with wild cards, so I'm good.
All right. That's all right, baby. I like that. You
Good. You
replaced
know
them
what I
with
mean?
wild. I like that.
Hey, and I don't got no value. I'm spiritually wealthy.
Yeah, I love
Right.
it. I love it. Thank you. Miss Ward, can you talk to us?
I had a lot of stuff, but I wanted to say I was in county jail with a girl who she had been there 5 months. She kept telling her son, she was at the hospital. I said, you know what's going to happen if he ever gets sick, he's not going to want to go because you never came home, right?
Mm,
And for my son, he was 4 when I went to prison. So I started out saying I'm on timeout, something that he could relate to and
mhm.
stuff. But I just wanted to say, like with Rufus, It's for me, it's like you say, Noreen, you go into prison immediately working to get out of there. So some people come there and they just go with the flow and fit in. They're not progressing to get out. And I've met some people that have come through a new way of life. Like we had a young lady that went in with the long timers told her settle in because you ain't never going home. And she went to one of the groups and started doing better. And she finally got out, and the lady had told her, "You're real different. I don't like how you are." She said, "Then you should start coming to the group." And
Mm,
she got out of prison. But you go in there and you settle. That's what they do. They settle in because I'm going to be here. No, you go in there and you do your best you can and try to make yourself better and learn things. So when you go out of there, you different from how you went in and you can function. Thank you.
absolutely. Thank you, sweetheart. You know, I always appreciate you. Miss Darcy, I'm gonna let you go now. Any final comments or thoughts? And thanks so much for joining us. What's your thoughts on your first time visiting us?
Absolutely. I'm excited to be here. I look forward to coming back. As long as I don't have clients, I will be here. So
Awesome.
I think it
Awesome.
was a great topic. It really made me consider because I teach a lot of this at my day job, and so many of the clients that I interact with don't have self-worth. So to hear so many of you have it, I think the adversity of incarceration really forces you to kind of look at that differently because so many other people have tried to prescribe it for you versus free world. Like, I don't have that pressure, that stigma, or society putting that pressure on. So it's like you've taken the adversity and you've really made it work towards your self-worth. And so I really commend everybody for having that because it's a struggle to get there.
Thank you. And you know, it is one of the things we mentioned multiple times here is the fact that when people are incarcerated, particularly if they have long sentences and they got to get past the board to get out, they're required to do a lot of self-help groups and work on themselves. But people on the street are not forced to do that.
No.
They're not, and there's nothing that forces them to do that. So they're actually in a lot of ways benefiting. They can benefit from that if they want to take the time to do that. You
Right.
see what I'm
That's why
saying?
you straight
Wanna,
street people is crazy.
huh?
I said that's why you straight street people is crazy.
Well, you know what? Anybody gonna let you worry us tonight,
Hey,
Mr.
hey,
Jill.
hey,
You
hey,
understand
Rufus,
what I'm saying?
they the straight street people. They crazy, y'all.
Anybody playing with you? Thank you, Miss Darcy. I want
Pleasure.
to
Yeah.
give the folks in the room the Peter Gallery check out for me, Pike. Last thoughts.
I'm glad that, believe it or not, that I came out as old as I did.
Really?
Yeah, because I worked, I told you, as an emergency plumber.
Mm-hmm.
I worked 7 days a week for them bastards
Okay.
inside.
Okay.
And by the time I got out of prison, I couldn't do shit.
Mhm.
And I got Social Security.
Mhm.
And I said, fine, now you're paying for my ass.
Since all, yeah, because you saved him a lot of money. You know, I never forget one time Pike was telling me when he went in, there were 8 institutions.
Yep,
And then came out as what, 33?
36.
36. And every time they opened one, they sent him to it. Why? So he could do plumbing.
Pretty much every one,
Every one of them.
did
Hey,
go to.
Pipe so old, they got his name in Brennan and a little pipe wrench in there. He put all the prisons, he got the
Don't
little
they should, Terrell?
he didn't did the plumbing in all the prisons. He done helped fill all the prisons. He got
Now,
his stamp and printed on them pipes, boy, I
isn't
tell
that
you.
something? Right?
That's
And listen,
big.
and some various times he's told us where he had to tell him, no, don't do it like that. Do it like this. And you know what I'm saying? So he designed it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's a whole lot though. But that's interesting. Mel, this your first time hanging out with us. Any final thoughts on what the topic was and what's going on? Anything?
To everybody, I'm coming
Good.
again.
Good. Awesome. So this is awesome because Miss Mel is here. She
Who
brought
was
Pike
that? I
to us
didn't hear it.
tonight, and she is I've known Mel for many, many, many years. And if you guys ever hear me tell a story about me explaining to somebody about why you got to be on time to work, when I tell you that the lady said, well, I don't know why you be tripping, Noreen, because I make up my time. And I said, okay, but when is payday? It's on the 5th and the 20th. And at what time? 3 o'clock. I said, if I come at 5:30 or 6, And then she goes, oh, okay. I ain't never had to worry about Mel being on time from that day to this day because she got it. All I had to do was explain it one time and she got it.
I ain't never been without a job.
And they ain't been without a job since then. And we talking back in the 90s.
Niggas was gonna take care of me.
Oh, okay. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Who is that? Who is that?
Oh, Mel, you gonna have to swing slide around here, baby. They want to see you, or they didn't get to see you because you was out there getting your stuff when getting Pike out the car. This is Miss Mel, and she takes care of Pike. She does care for Pike, and like I said, she from the neighborhood, and she worked for Concerned Citizens. She worked for me, and I was probably one of the first jobs you ever had, huh, Mel? And Mel thought I was crazy because I required her to be to work on time. She thought
be a gangbanger.
she was a gangbanger. She said. Oh, the hooker, she said.
Undercover hooker.
Oh, I love it. I love it. You was an undercover hooker, huh?
Hey, well, at least she honest. At least she honest. Honesty is
okay. You gotta love it. Any final words from you, darling?
Just thank you for the topic. I enjoyed it.
Cool. All right, Miss Tony. Finally. All right. Wonderful. So I want to say this. Oh, yes, sir.
I got a question for these two ladies.
Uh-oh.
And I
can you want to do it on?
It doesn't matter.
Okay, so wait, we're gonna end and then you can ask them their question. Okay, all right. So listen. So I just want to say thank you for everybody for joining us. I want to say, to anybody listening, I brought this topic up because there's so many people right now that I see that are suffering and denying themselves things that they rightfully deserve because they don't know that they deserve it. And they don't see their self-worth. And it's very painful for me to watch because I love these people. And I can't fix it. I can't fix it for them. You know what I'm saying? All I could do is watch them go through it. Because the one thing I have learned, I can't fix nobody. If I'm lucky, when I wake up, I can fix my.
I see you, Chester. Chester trying to say something.
What did you say, Chester?
Can you hear me?
I can now. Yes, sir.
Nobody unmute me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Nope.
You can hear me now?
I sure can.
Okay, can I speak? Because I know we're going to go on. All I wanted to say is...
Yeah, come on, Big Swole. Come on, Big Swole.
No, all I wanted to say is how you value yourself is how you're going to value your relationship. You know, you have to have some type of confidence to believe in yourself to be able to move forward and know what you want out of life. And don't be afraid to speak up. But that's all I wanted to say.
I'm so glad you got to say it because it was powerful. On top of that, it was necessary, right? Because the reason it's so powerful is because you can't give what you don't have. You can't contribute what you don't have. Exactly. Listen, how many times Snoop say, how many people come and they ain't pitched in? They ain't pitched in because they ain't got it like that, right? Yeah. I need a little something on this, you know what I'm saying, on this gin over here. I'm gonna need something like that. I know that's right. That was perfect. Awesome. I'm so glad we was able to work that out. Thank you, Chester.
Thank you.
We weren't gonna leave you hanging, Chester. I had you because I see you that got through. I wasn't gonna let her.
That's right. That's right.
You know she going to tangent. You gotta just let her do her thistle, you know.
So again, this has been another wonderful session of Free to Heal. Check us out on YouTube. Check out our videos, all the social media sites.
Check it out.
Be here. If you got a topic you want us to discuss, let us know. But we appreciate you, and we'll see you next week. See you later, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.